Hey there everybody, Jason here, and today I wanted to start delving a little bit more into my classic gaming collection. So, for most of the part, like when I play games, like Pokemon Sun and Moon, which I've been playing on the channel, I play them with my 3DS XL here. It's one of the new 3DS XLs, this is the Majora's Mask one, but back in the day it used to be a little bit different. So, I used to play on this guy. So this is a original Game Boy. This is one that I got a very long time ago. It came bundled in with Tetris, which is, it's a classic. I mean, it's a puzzle game, which requires you to basically, you know, form lines on the bottom of a grid and clear them out. And I mean, that's it. It's the sound for this thing. It's, I don't know. It's very it's very nostalgic to me. There's just something about this that just, God, it was everything in the world to me at the time. And God, when my AA batteries ran out, I was I was distraught. But anyway, that's beside the point. Basically, what I want to talk about is the fact that this system is really near and dear to my heart, and there was just lots of cool stuff about it. It was by far like one of the very first examples for me of a portable gaming console that I could take with me. And this is sort of thought for me as like a sedative, I guess you could say, much like how people use iPhones and iPads and tablets for their kids to keep them quiet. But when this came out, I think I was like 9 or 10. It might have been out for a little bit before then, but yeah, it's definitely seen some wear and tear. Oh God, there's been some sticker placed on the back there, but I still have like the original sticker on here that has the the number for the helpline. But I don't know, it is definitely interesting. I mean, cartridges were this rather than basically things the size of little SD cards like they are for like even the Nintendo Switch these days. And that's basically it. I mean, on the side here you have your communications port for linking with another player. You have your volume. On this side you've got an AC adapter port as well as your contrast, which controls the brightness of, or the level of black on the screen, which as you can see is that nice like sort of neon yellow. Down on the bottom you have a headphone jack for the out, and then a name that was hastily written and scrawled off for some stupid reason by me. I had to clean that out. And then your speaker. On top, you got your power. I don't know, there's just something about this system that it just, oh God, it like screams childhood, and that noise, I love it so much. It's very iconic. I have a couple of them. I have the original one, and I've got this red one, which is surprisingly in worse shape, a little bit. Screen's a little bit more scratched. The serial number is a little bit different, but I think that's just because by the time that they did this, they changed the way they actually did it. Like the original serial number placard spot that you see right here where the silver one is still there, but they've definitely changed it. Sorry, this stuff is a little bit dusty. Wow, I don't remember these things ever having like a cover. And now that I'm trying to pry this out, I can't. There we go. Did that ever have a cover on the original one? I am not even sure. Anyway, let's put that back into so that I can never get that out again. I can imagine that gets lost pretty easily. Anyway, that aside, basically all the games that you could play for this system came in little boxes like this. They were neat. I mean, obviously I've got like the Pokemon series. There's Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Blue, things like that. But it's definitely a nifty system. I played the heck out of this thing. What was it, like Link's Awakening, which they later did a DX version of it for the Game Boy Color. There was Super Mario Land, which led into like 6 Golden Coins, which also started off the Wario Land series, which is one of my favorite games. Everything like that. It's so much fun. But then Pokemon came out, and Pokemon became the main reason to have this. And for that reason alone is why you had things like this, which was your link cables, which basically enabled you to plug this into one system and then plug it into another and communicate and trade Pokemon back and forth, or play multiplayer games in games like Tetris or Yoshi. Heck, I even have this, which is a 4-player adapter for the Game Boy. So you can have you and 3 other friends plugged into the same thing playing a 4-player game, which I don't even know if I have a 4-player game for this thing. But yeah, that's a thing. Then you have things like this, which they slot on to the front of your system and look god-awful, but you open it up and pull out a little magnifying screen, and so it's just so you can see better. And then it's got like a built-in light, which I probably need to put batteries in this, but it's to help you even see in the first place, because these things aren't backlit screens. Like, they are notoriously difficult to see, and playing at night in a car or in your bedroom while you're trying not to let your parents know that what you're doing is playing like Super Mario or something like that was incredibly difficult. But yeah, and then things got, you know, a little bit interesting when, you know, you put into the fact that it actually had like a AC adapter. So this would plug into the side of this system so that you could basically remove the need for AA batteries, of which this thing took 4. And granted, I mean, these are rechargeable batteries, so like I can charge them up anytime that I want to, but these batteries didn't last forever. And then there was the fact that you're playing games that maybe you're out on the go, you don't have an extra set of batteries, or like when you have this thing with batteries in it, if you turn the system off, your game is gone, which is incredibly depressing. But one of the last things that I have here to show you guys is this thing. This is the Game Boy camera, which basically turns your Game Boy into a sort of digital camera. This came out, I think, towards the end of the Game Boy era and beginning of the Game Boy Color. And I got this in Australia, so let me turn that down. But it's definitely an interesting device. I like the fact that you could do, like, you know, film of things behind and in front, so you can get your selfies. But yeah, you can view, shoot, and play games. And then I even have a little Game Boy printer for which to print out the pictures that you take. And this thing, I think, actually took a whole bunch of batteries too. Let me see. Yeah, this one took 6 AA batteries. And if you want like a little bit of, I guess you could say, an idea of how much stuff like this cost me, I was a kid when this thing came out, and I lived in Australia, and in Australian dollars, this thing here was like $120. Like, these days, that's like a super special edition of like a Call of Duty game, which comes with a, you know, like the season pass or something like that. But oh, it's like really dark in here. I have to mess around with the brightness and contrast, but this camera, it's not the greatest. They can barely see me. It's like, oh, there I am. But anyway, it's just, I don't know, it's just definitely something interesting. So that's going to do it for today. Basically, I just wanted to show a little bit of love for my original Game Boy, which I still have, and I am incredibly happy that I do. Game Boy is probably the one thing, aside from the big box of NES stuff that I got one Christmas, that really, really got me into gaming. If it wasn't for the Game Boy, I never would have been as much of a Pokemon fanatic as I am now. But if you have love for a system like this, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know what your first handheld system was. Did you play Game Boy? Were you more into Sega? Did you actually get the Sega Game Gear? That's actually a system that I don't own. But Did you jump on with the Game Boy in any way, shape, or form during its years later on with like the Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance? Are you like me, where you sort of carry one of these 3DSs around with you almost everywhere, which is, in my sad case, being slowly replaced by the Switch. But yeah, anyway, that's going to do it for today. If you guys like this sort of stuff, definitely give me a thumbs up down below. I'd like to continue a series like this where I explore cool things in my little collection. I don't have the greatest collection on the planet, but it's things that I definitely like and I'm definitely proud of having. But yeah, if you want to see more, let me know, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.